Welcome back, everyone, to What's Your Story Season 1 finale episode. I just can't believe that we are at the end of Season 1. If you are watching live, you know what to do. If you're part of our community, go ahead and let me know you are here. Let me know where you're watching from. Today, it's about you. We're going to get together today and just journey through the last few months, not just through my story, but we're going to get to journey with some of the guests who were here and who courageously shared their story. And I'm so excited to have them on tonight. Oh my gosh, guys. So listen, if hey, Evie girl, listen, you should just get an honorary prize just for being number one. You are always number one, and I appreciate you so much. But Mishra, French Monica Budgets, listen, she did not waste any time with entering that giveaway. You'll see it at the bottom left. But guys, What's Your Story has been a space where we get to journey through the stories of others so that we can be inspired to know, own, and share our own stories. And it has been a phenomenal just few months. Hey, Gio, good to see you. Pam, listen, this is my mother-in-law, and she is a super fan, and I so appreciate her support. But guys, as you're coming in, let me know that you're here. Let me know you're watching. Say hi. Show some love. But tonight's going to be exciting. It is the last episode of season 1, and we are going all in. We're going to have tons of conversations. You're going to journey along my story. You're going to journey along the stories of others and updates on where they've been since they last shared on this platform. I want you to know that we are also doing a giveaway today, guys. Listen, I have the amazing opportunity of being able to give back to you today. And so you're already seeing people hashtagging finale. So I'm just going to let you know, if you are watching live, the way that you can enter to win this giveaway at the end of the show is by hashtagging finale. Hashtag finale in the comments, and you will be inserted into the giveaway. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Adrian Lee, hello from the other side. You always want to make me sing the song. Adrian Lee, for those of you who don't know, is my husband, my number one fan. He has been so supportive, and I'm just going to start there, and then I'll jump into what the giveaways are going to be, and we'll just get started. So Adrian, thank you so much. You are absolutely amazing. This man has put countless hours into supporting me. It doesn't matter what I've wanted to do or how ridiculous it has sounded. He has been like, okay, cool. And he has spent I'll go to bed and he'll be up hours into the night researching and finding the best things for what I'm trying to do. He's just extremely supportive, and I just love him so much for really just being there with me and being on this God journey with me. So thank you, babe. All right. If you're just coming in again, hey, Derek. Yes, it has been a great ride, and you have been such an amazing support. So Derek, thank you for your love. Again, we're about to do a giveaway at the end, but I'm going to show you what we're giving away tonight. I'm excited. But make sure that you hashtag finale in the comments if you want a chance to win. If you don't hashtag finale, I love you, but you will not be entered into the giveaway. So hashtag finale to do that. Now, I'm going to share my screen because I want to show you what our giveaway is today. All right, let me see if I can navigate this to show. Here we go. Let's see. Does that work? I think so. Let me add to the stream. Here we go. So tonight we are giving away 2 bundles of amazing things. Yes, hashtag finale to enter the giveaway. But first, you'll see to the left, it's a bundle of not just any relaxation set, but a relaxation set from Pop of Love Beauty. Now listen, Pop of Love Beauty, I'm a little bit biased because not only is the owner a great friend of mine, but her products are amazing. You're going to get a body butter, which this is not just any body butter. This is like you'll be like moist for days. Okay, body butter. You're gonna get an amazing scented candle and some bath salts to relax and just unwind. And listen, guys, I don't know if you're peeping the giveaway, but there is a shirt. It is my the first ever What's Your Story shirt, and it says your story, know it, own it, and share it. I'm actually wearing it right now. I'm gonna show you. Hey, I can't get up too much because I'm going to fall with all the stuff I have connected to me. But it's your story. Know it, own it, and share it. Can we purchase merch? Rose, listen, it's coming. It's in the pipeline. Okay, girl. So this shirt is exclusive to the giveaway. So if you want a chance to win it, Rose, go ahead and hashtag finale so that you are included. But then we also are doing a Starbucks giveaway of $25 because who doesn't love a good iced latte? Whether you are a coffee drinker or a non-coffee drinker, you can always find something great at Starbucks. And the second bundle is from Fizzy Fantasy Spa. She creates beautiful bath bombs, and I love it because as a result of the pandemic, she went into a depression. Amber, the owner, and she wanted to find something to do with her time, and she ended up creating bath bombs. And as a result, it led to this business. And I mean, she has some beautiful works of art. You can find that at fizzyfantasyspa.com, and you can check out Pop of Love Beauty, popoflove.com for, listen, Kathleen does makeup, right? Lipsticks, eyeshadow palettes. I mean, it's just amazing to see how these women have launched these businesses and are thriving. But products are all natural, okay? And so I just want you to know that. So hashtag finale if you want to be entered into the giveaway. It is a necessity. So go ahead and comment hashtag finale. And I'm going to stop the screen share. Here we go. All right. So guys, you have been on this journey with me that started a couple of months ago. I had my baby. You guys, a lot of you know, if you don't, I had a baby, and God asked me to literally take some space. And as I actually silenced everything around me and took the space that God was asking me to take, he started to deposit some things into my spirit that I was struggling with because, I've struggled on and off throughout my life with not feeling good enough. And I don't know if you can relate to that, but it was something that I've been wanting to overcome for a long time. And I knew that God had something that he wanted me to do. I just was scared to do it because what if, right? Fill in the blanks with the what ifs. And it has been amazing to see how just surrendering this process to God and surrendering this experience to God has allowed this experience to take place, right? We're 14 episodes in, end of season 1, and God willing, we're going to have a season 2. And so I'm just so excited to be here. But before we get into the updates and talking to past guests, I'm so happy I get to bring on 4 of some of my closest girlfriends. There are so many of you who have showed support, not only to the show, but to me personally throughout this process. You ladies know who you are. If you're watching, you know exactly who you are. And so I thank you so much for the support that you've shown. But I wanted to bring on these 4 individuals who are some of my closest friends, and were privied to all of the behind the scenes before I even started What's Your Story. And so we're just going to have a conversation and journey through my story. And so I'm going to bring them on one by one. All right. First up, Chantal. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Listen, Chantal and I have known each other for...
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. And we literally met at the front of PMC during a missionary call. Like we have traveled the world together. You are an amazing mommy of 3. You literally paved the way for all of us because you were having babies before we all were. You were doing it before we all were. You got married, you did all that. And it's just been incredible to see how God has moved in your life and to see you now with your husband leading a church. And you just launched your show.
Hey.
Let's Go There, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Shameless plug.
Come on.
Go support on YouTube because she's doing big things. But yes, we've known each other for about 20 years. I'm gonna next. I'm gonna bring on. Let me change this here so we can see better. Let's see. All right. Then I'm going to bring on Crystal. Hey, Crystal.
Hey.
How's it going, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, man, it's so good. Crystal, we've known each other for how many years? You've been married for what, almost?
10. We'll be celebrating 10 years on Saturday.
Hey.
Yeah.
So 10 years. And then, but prior to that, I mean, at least 16 or 17 years, right?
Yeah. About maybe 14, right? Because
yes.
maybe 15 around there.
I don't know. I just remember you were in the choir, and then you graduated, you got married, and we started our friendship. Like it's just kind of evolved, and we've been through life. Okay.
Yeah.
We have experienced
some
tings. Okay, we're gonna say tings. I'm not West Indian, but we experienced some tings. Okay. And then I have Jack, who is my sister. We've known each other 20 plus years. I mean, freshman in high school. Right? Yes. I was in history class and she walked up to me and was like, "Oh my God, are you Puerto Rican?" And I was like,
I needed a road dog. There wasn't a lot of us back then.
There was not. So it was so good. We've just had an amazing friendship. I mean, you're my sister. There's no other way to put it. You have seen my highs and my lows. And then
vice versa.
Oh yes, absolutely. And then none other than Kathleen. Boop, boop, boop. She is the owner of Pop of Love Beauty and a good friend of mine. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. Good.
So good to see you. And we've known each other like 10, 12 years maybe.
Around 12 years, yeah.
Yeah, around 12 years. I remember the first time I met you, it was at RJ's wedding. I don't know if you remember that. Did you do Afia's makeup?
I did. And I sang.
Yes. And I remember the first time Adrian brought me to a wedding, and like he just dropped me off at the bottom of this house. It was like some basement. And he's like, "Hey, you can change in here." And I'm like, "I don't know anybody." And Kathleen was like, "Hey girl, I'm just doing your makeup." Like you were just so warm and happy, and just it was so great. And so that's the first time we met. But then at Andrews, we got reconnected and developed a friendship there. And so guys, these amazing women have been in my corner. Are some of the few women who've been in my corner. And you guys have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly before What's Your Story even started. And so I just want to start with, guys, before thank you, Gio. I have some people here saying, "So proud of you, Leilani." Thank you. Love this. Can't believe you're at season finale. Yep. I love how you included that in there, Christina. Christina's another one of my sisters. Derek says, "I still remember Crystal said your voice is assigned to a group of people." Jesus. Yes, that was a line. But ladies, so you guys remember this experience that I've been on. I remember, Chantal, I'll just share this. I remember being in IKEA and getting a call from you. We hadn't talked in a while. And God had just started to kind of put stuff on my heart, and we were just talking randomly, and Chantal says, like, "Hold on a second, I gotta say something." And I was like, so on the call as I'm walking around in IKEA, and she goes, I don't remember the exact words, Chantal, but you just deposited just words of affirmation to my spirit. You said God wants something. God wants to do something with you, and you have to stop letting fear get in the way. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember. I was on the way to my mechanic. And I would just remember saying, like, it's already in you. Stop being afraid. Like you play it so safe over all the years I've known you. You always play it safe. Yes. And I'm like, stop. Like, it's already in you. Just take the jump. Go for it.
Yes. And it's crazy because you didn't know what God was doing. I think then that's when I was like, yo, I feel like God is trying to do this thing, but I'm holding myself back because you're right. I'm super cautious. If you know me, no, I'm learning from others' experiences. I'm not risking it myself, right? Like, you tell me it's hot, cool, no problem. I'm not touching that because it's gonna be hot. Is she talking to me? Yes, Derek, she is talking to you because we know what God has put in your spirit. Okay, So let me not call you out. But yes, it was such a powerful moment because I remember us then delving into this thing like, yo, God has put stuff in our hearts and we need to move ourselves out of the way so that he can do what he wants to do. But that's hard. That is so hard sometimes, you know? And then the journey started, and I just remember with Kat and Crystal, we've been part of a chat for the longest time. And it came to a point where Kathleen and Crystal were doing their thing. Like, they're content creating, they're building businesses. And I'm over here like, Jesus, what's my purpose? I'm surrounded by women who are inspiring me. And I'm just like, what's going on? And Crystal was like, you know what? Why don't we start a group? Why don't we just connect on a week-to-week basis and join into community and share our wins and share ideas? And it has been so powerful. It has been so powerful just to see. I mean, you guys have seen the back end of this experience. I don't know, like, you know, I remember there being times where I'm in the group or texting. I know I've texted Jack like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I think each of you at one point in time have been like, get it together. Like,
Yeah.
stop being silly and just do it.
Yeah, because you have full-fledged panic attacks. Like, and I think like sometimes you can't see like what we see. Like, you don't see yourself the way we see you. So you tell us like, I have this idea, and we're like, oh, okay, great, do it, because we know you can. And you're like, oh, there's like so many different options, and I got to think about all this stuff. Or like, yeah, you'll figure it out because you are OCD, right? Like, you're gonna check it off twice and dye your eyes and cross your T's. We know that the details
Yes.
they'll be executed, but you have to start.
Yes.
And I feel like that's something that like I feel like we all saw. Like, I know me and Kat were just like, yeah, go ahead. Like, I remember Kathleen saying like the people will follow. Like, you're a natural born leader. If you do something, they will come.
Yes.
Here we are.
And you're more incredible. You're more incredible than you even know. And that's something we've constantly told you. You are
Yes.
incredible.
I so appreciate you guys.
I wanted to add something, Leilani. I don't know if you've shared this, but I'm going to put your business kind of out there. But along this journey, you have not been well. And to see you, I want to even get emotional about it, to see you push through not being physically well at the doctor's office, at appointments, trying to figure out what's going on. And you faithfully showed up every Sunday night for 14 Sundays in a row. You didn't even say, you know what, I'm going to call it out. Like, you literally pulled it out. And I want to just say kudos for you just still pushing it through. People have never known when you're going live that you have not been well,
Yep.
that you've been like crying or you have been just not sick. Plus you're taking care of a 6-month-old child. Plus you put a
Yes.
job in between all of this. Like,
Listen,
girl,
Mhm.
like,
It's
it's been
been
14 weeks.
It's been a
Mhm.
crazy 14 weeks. Chantal, oh my gosh. Listen, God is so good because can I tell you that, like, I don't know, it's just God, because during that time frame, the hour and a half to 2 hours before the show and after the show, like, I'm well, like, I'm good. Right. And then after, it's like, you know, you just get hit with this wave of like, I'm not well. Okay, God, what's happening? But it's crazy because I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about this process. I've learned to trust God. I've learned to follow his pace. Right. I've learned to step out on faith and like literally be in the deep. I know there was some weeks where I was like, I think I told Jack this. I was like, I'm in the deep, but I want to go back. Like, how do I go back? Can I just swim back to the shore?
Yes.
No, you cannot. You cannot.
No.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's so scary to jump into the deep with God, but know that at the end of the day, like, that is wherever he is, that's where I need to be, you know. And
Yes.
each one of you have shown me that throughout your own lives, right? Throughout your own experiences that you've gone through in your faith walks. Christina says, Crystal is speaking truth. We all have seen the greatness in you for years. So happy that you're walking boldly in that greatness. Thank you, girl. Derek says, this is why people need community. These sisters love and believe in their friends. Absolutely. The kids just yelled, is that Titi Jack?
Kisses.
You ladies have been so integral to my growth and to my journey, and I just personally want to say thank you, because words can't describe, what it means to me to have you in my corner. I mean, there's something, Derek just said it. This is why people need community, and I want to tell you guys that don't be afraid to let people in to your story. Because as you let people into your story, you give them an opportunity to help support you. I just all of these memories with each one of you, literally. Like, I remember before I was going to launch, I was like, Chantal, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. And you're like, you are launching in the name of Jesus. You were like, no, we're not having none of that. You are launching. And I was like, okay. And like, just all of these moments where I've been scared, or I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but just seeing God working through each one of you in my life has just been, I can't even begin to express my gratitude for you guys. And I'm just so excited to continue to journey along life with you guys. And it's so important to just have community for growth, for learning, so that God wants to use other people. We were not meant to do life alone. And so, ladies, I just want to say thank you for jumping on here and for being part of tonight's show in a small way. I love you all. And I will see you, Kat and Crystal, on Monday morning. Monday morning.
At 10:30, right?
At 10:30. See, Jack knows. She knows. 10:30. And
can I just say, I don't know why IKEA is so sanctified, but when you come down here, sometime we need to go to IKEA, because apparently, if anybody's been watching this show for the last 14 episodes, IKEA has been dropped several times. And hashtag IKEA. I'm trying to get some.
You're trying to get a blessing
affirmation. Yes,
that's true. Kaladi, Kaladi's story.
I was like, I'm like one of the only ones I know who's never been to IKEA yet, and I'm like, now's the time, Lord. Yes.
Hashtag. I forgot that was like a whole running hashtag. Hashtag IKEA. But anyways, ladies, I love you so much, and I will see you in your respective spaces. Love you all.
Love you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna remove each one of you guys. There we go. Oh man, I'm just so happy that I've had an opportunity today to connect with these ladies. But guys, if you are just tuning in, remember to hashtag finale if you want to be entered into the giveaway. But we're getting ready to jump into our stories to update you guys on some of our previous guests, and I am so excited to connect with each and every one of these individuals. Now here, I want to remind you, this is your last chance. If you have a question that has been burning on your heart, for those of you who have watched the previous episodes, now is the time, okay? So make sure that you leave any questions as you are hearing these updates for each individual person. And let's get ready to go. I mean, without further ado, first up, we have Leah Andrade. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, it is so good to see you. Leah was on episode 3, and she shared her story of courage, experiencing her mother leaving her family, and as a result of that, at a young age, having to care for her brother. But God never stopped working, and you saw him each step of the way. So Leah, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so happy you're here with us again. People want to know, girl, so tell us what's been happening since you shared on What's Your Story.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Leilani, for your obedience to what God has placed on your heart. And I just want to honor you tonight. What a testament of the goodness of God, and also sensitivity to hearing his voice and obedience. So God bless you as you continue.
Thank you, girl.
For those that joined that night or heard my testimony afterwards, my mother and I haven't had a relationship. Well, it's been kind of like in and out throughout the years, but 8 years ago, I made it a point to really take some time to seek healing with the Lord and just in a situation. And so I learned to love from a distance. But for the glory of God, my mother and I reconnected after 8 years. We reconnected. And so we were able to share our first Mother's Day this past Mother's Day together.
That's amazing.
And God is good. God is good.
gosh.
My kids were able to spend time. I remember my son saying that morning I was preparing to host her. And my son was saying, Mommy, it's the first year we're going to have both grandmas here.
Oh my God.
And because my mother-in-law lives with us. And so
yes.
I do want to draw your attention. God is good, and it is such a good thing. But I do want to be honest and transparent in saying that, guys, when we forgive, we have to often be reminded that forgiveness is a choice every single time. Like, it's not a magic pill, right? It's not something you're like, okay, I forgive, everything's back to normal, or everything's perfect.
Yes.
And so although it's awesome, and I'm so grateful to God for this opportunity to reestablish this relationship, it is an intentional decision because there are still things that are healing. There's still a history, a past, but I'm often reminded of the love that God has extended to me through this relationship.
That is so amazing. Guys, in the chat, I forgot to tell you guys, get your celebration emojis ready, because what an amazing thing that after 8 years, you were able to reconnect and have been reestablishing that relationship.
Yes, God is so, so good. I pray when you think of me, pray that God would continue. Listen, when you follow in obedience, whether it's forgiveness or a project like this or whatever God is calling you to do, he honors that. Yes. He honors your willing heart. And it's not your confidence. You're not going to do it within your own strength. It's completely trusting him. It's completely saying, Lord, I surrender my heart to you. Yeah. And so one of the things that I just want to quickly share is that for me, the way I've been able to forgive just so much trauma and so much hurt, and if you missed it, you can go back and watch it.
Yes, please.
The way I've been able to do that is God has been showing me through this, because, nothing's perfect, and she's still, obviously, there's things that are still being healed. Sure. It is seeing her through the eyes of compassion and being able to see her. My prayer to God is, Lord, allow me to love her and see her the way you have loved me. And when I want to be upset at something, I'll be like, oh yeah, she hasn't changed. Obviously, the Lord says to me, well, there are areas in your life. Woo! And there are things in your life that still look similar to yesterday, but I love you. And so I think it's unconditional love, and that's the love that God offers us. And so if we're really trying to, if you're working on forgiveness in a relationship or with someone, just approach it with humility. And maybe no expectations, like your own expectations. Say, God, I just want to do your will. You take control of this reconciliation.
Yes, absolutely. Forgiveness is such a difficult topic for so many of us. And I think, to see you living that out is such an example and a witness to what God has done in your life, and how he's continuing to restore and mend and bring together. And he's going to use you as he's put you on a platform and platforms to really showcase what his glory looks like through you as a result of your continued your obedience to him. Because, girl, you've been on a journey and you're continuing on a journey. And I'm so grateful that you were able to come back and share that update. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you backstage and then I'll bring you back at the end. Okay.
Thank you, Leilani.
Yes. Guys, so next up we have Clarissa Montpremier. I'm so excited to have her back. She was on episode 9 with her hubby, Mike, and they shared their debt-free journey story of paying over $200,000 in debt and how that prepared them to experience their beautiful child and his neurodiversity. And it was just such a beautiful story of unconditional love and support. And so without further ado, Clarissa, hey mama.
Hi.
It's so good to have you on. It's
good to be here.
I know. Did you expect the Mount IKEA, hashtag Mount IKEA?
I was laughing. I was like, there we go with IKEA again.
IKEA, man. Jack is right. There's something about IKEA that is just
Yeah, she needs to go get her blessing. I agree.
Yes, go get your blessing at IKEA. But girl, so tell me what's been what's been happening since you shared on What's Your Story?
Okay, so funny because there's a couple of things that happened recently. One was yesterday I went grocery shopping, and grocery shopping yesterday was a thing because apparently there is a budget, and there was lack of communication. This was part of our story, right? This is how we got to be debt free, that we had worked on a lot of communication. The lesson is we're aiming for progress, not perfection. So we have not by any means perfected the communication part or the budgeting, apparently, because I wasn't told that there was a certain budget. I went over budget, and there was a whole conversation right there behind in the kitchen about the budget.
Progress, not perfection. I love it.
Right. So the success of that was that we were able to get it without defensive-ness. We did not get defensive. Each of us let the other one speak without interrupting each other.
Okay.
And at the end of it, we were both like, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Like, it was good. I was like, okay, this is good. Because those budgeting conversations have been a little tenacious in the past. I mean, a little bit there's been tense in the past. I think the other thing too is, as we shared that whole journey prepared us for Miguel. There's a couple of updates for him. One is it definitely has been more awareness for us around neurodiversity. So more advocacy. So Michael just went through a training, and then he shared with me that he had then shared the training with his HR because he wanted to help them be more aware of how to make workspaces, more inviting and conducive to people that have different kind of needs. So autism is a neurological variant. So it just, instead of saying normal, not normal, we prefer terms like neurotypical and neurodiverse, which just means that the brain is operating on a different operating system than, for instance, yours and mine.
Yeah.
So
I love that term.
Yeah. So just adding more of that language to the world as well. Terms like saying like that person is autistic are a little bit more outdated now, and everybody has a preference. So it's kind of just like you might identify with being Hispanic, and I might identify with Latina more. It's just about like asking the person and making sure that, you ask them what they prefer. So just having those conversations more in workplaces and in different environments that we can, to make sure that we're active in creating a world for him that will be, accepting of him and his diversity and in the different ways that comes. So that's one thing. And the other thing is he's going to start his therapies. So that was huge. We found out this month. We got the call that he was on a wait list, and that, well, he already was on the wait list. We got the call that he was now moving off the wait list, and he was we're going to take the next steps to start. So over the summer, he will be starting his therapies to get him going on his journey at his learning center. So that we're pretty excited about that, to hear that. And the last share I think I have that change is as a direct result of sharing on What's Your Story. I had a not so pleasant initially conversation with my mother. So it's interesting to hear Leah share, because I shared, I think, during the story that, I had a lot of healing to do from my childhood. And one of the relationships that recently has experienced a huge transformation has been my relationship with my mother through this journey of her helping us. She was a huge cheerleader and a help in the financial journey, but then my dad moved from another country. They came here. We did not know at that time, obviously, what was going to be going on with Miguel, but she has been such a huge support. And she had some feelings after the last time we shared that she needed to express. And that particular conversation that her and I had led to more healing and led to more transformation in our relationship that we needed. So I definitely resonate with a lot with what Leah was saying. I was like, maybe there's a theme here. I don't know. Like, God works in mysterious ways.
He does.
Definitely forgiveness is one of them. It's definitely ongoing. I guess for myself, I have noticed that as I began to heal myself,
Mm-hmm.
and offer myself the forgiveness, and even parent myself. I've learned how to like parent myself in ways that I was not parented.
Wow.
I have been able to offer that up to my mom, and she has grown immensely, and her willingness to show up, because I think you can get to a certain age where people like don't want to change anymore.
Sure,
So I
it's
think
hard.
to me it's very inspiring that I'm not going to call her out on how old she is, because I don't think she'd like that. But I'm 40,
No, don't do
so
that.
you can imagine how old my mother is. But so she has been, it's just been very inspiring to be able to see that it doesn't matter how old you are, you're still capable of changing and growing. And it's never too late to heal. And it's never too late
That's a
to,
word.
to transform a relationship that
Yes.
maybe wasn't working before. So I think Miguel has been a wonderful gift in that way, that I think he definitely has been the catalyst for that relationship being able to transform into what it is today. And I think it's still growing and evolving, but
Yeah.
it's been wonderful to have her in my life. So that relationship growing and healing was literally a direct
Result.
correlation, with the last What's Your Story that we did together. So
Oh my gosh, Claudia, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, it's amazing to see how God puts things in our lives that sometimes, we don't think of, we can't necessarily see how they would be so transformative, but then they are, right? They become this catalyst for change in our lives. I mean, the fact that there's so much hope in what you're saying, right? And the reality that sometimes we sit in hopelessness, like our relationships and our hurt relationships, will they ever be healed, right? Will they ever be okay? And you're living proof that yes, they can, right? And all it takes is a little bit of forgiveness, love, self-compassion, growth, and coming to the middle to do that. And so I'm so grateful for you. It's never too late to heal. Absolutely. #that.
And can I add to that? I think something that is huge is, especially with relationships, and I'm experiencing this in all my relationships that are close to me. We want the other person to change before we change. Like it's just natural that we're like, well, if they're different,
yes,
then I can be different. So I spend so much of my time in my relationships, I've noticed, thinking like, okay, if Miguel behaved this way, I would feel better. If Michael said this, then I could feel better. If my mom didn't do this, I can feel better.
Ooh.
So I think I'm grateful for, grateful for the lesson that's the lesson that I'm still working on.
Yes.
That, I need to be willing. Yes. I need to show up for the change. And I think God just constantly reminds me of that. Like, okay, you need to be, I think it's the Gandhi quote, you need to be the change that you want to see in the world. And it's just be the change you want to see in your family. So, I mean, I'm constantly trying to show up for her, but it's just so much easier to be complacent and be like, can they please change so that I can feel better? So just to have that willingness for you to be able to show up, I think is huge. And I think that many times we miss out on great relationships because we just get stuck in the fact that, we want the outside world to be different before we choose to show up for ourselves.
Yes, I love that, because a lot of us fail to understand. And I mean, it's hard. It's hard for all of us, right? That if we change, they change, right? But we spend so much time wanting them to change without changing ourselves. And really the transformation is us changing ourselves, right? I mean, we can change our whole environment. Yes, Adrian, my response is my responsibility. Derek says, yes, seek to understand before being understood. Listen, I remember there was a period in my life where, and Adrian can attest to this, that I always wanted to run away. I'm like, oh, things are getting stressful. I just need to run. Let's go on vacation. Let's leave. Let's move. I'm going to quit my job. Let me just do something else. And I remember I don't know exactly how he told me, but he's told me this multiple times. He's like, girl, in other words, the problem isn't your environment. It's not your job. It's not the people. It's you. Get it together. He didn't say it that way because, I probably get a little upset about that. But I mean, he really just challenged me on the idea that, Leilani, you're the common denominator, and that hurts. That is uncomfortable. But the reality is if you want lasting change, you have to be willing to look at yourself first. And so, man, kudos to you, girl. That's so hard to do. And so I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Guys, let's give her some love for for the work that she has done, because it is not easy, and prayers for Miguel as he continues on his journey. Rose does have a question, and I want to bring it up. She says, as an OT, what can your therapy team be? How can your therapy team be more integral in doing for you as a family on this journey? Or what is something that the therapy did that was helpful in coping?
Okay, so great. OT was huge. So we're going to have a more professional OT. We had like an OT that was early intervention OT, so it was more sporadic. But what the OT, and I hope I'm understanding the question properly, but what the current OT did for us was she explained what is called proprioceptive input. And I'm hoping I'm saying that right. And it's basically like,
even if you weren't, we'd be like, yay.
Well, if she's an OT, she'll know I'm saying it wrong though. So I'm like trying to say it right. But it basically means that it's how our senses take in our outside input. So how we're processing the senses. So for most of us, we might not think about it, but like some of us might be really sensitive to like a smell. So like I know I am. Like if I smell something, I'm like, absolutely not. Like I can just smell something, or food. If I smell it before I even taste it, sometimes I'm already turned off and I'm like, I want no parts of it.
Sure.
Space is a thing. So like most of us sometimes like really small, like some of us feel really uncomfortable in small spaces, but some of us really like small spaces. So our son likes, like when he was a baby, he really liked the swaddle.
Yeah.
And we still haven't been able to transition him into sleeping like what probably a neurotypical kid would sleep like, because he likes to be enclosed. That's what his body prefers. Temperature is also a thing for him. So the OT was very helpful in explaining to us all his different needs as far as his sensory needs. And it's something that you wouldn't really think about impacting somebody so much until like you see it in his behavior is basically how we know. So he's responding to those inputs. And when we see him, we know that, you know, he's experiencing most of the time an overwhelming. So a lot of people on the spectrum just receive an overwhelming amount of input. The input is faster than the way the brain can process it. So you see some of these behaviors or some of these responses that are basically from an overwhelmed central nervous system.
It's so calming. So man, it's amazing how OT can, you know, helped you along this process cope. But Gladys, thank you so much for updating us, and I'll bring you back in a little bit, guys. So next up we have DJ and Cherie. Woo! DJ and Cherie, what can I say? They were part of episode 6, and God led Cherie to leave medical school shortly after. They lost both their homes. They were led to North Carolina, and shortly after committing to this God-sized dream and starting to build their home, DJ lost his job. But in the midst of that, God worked so many miracles. I mean, if you have not watched their episode, you need to go back, because it is amazing to see how God literally has orchestrated each step. I mean, crazy faith. When you hear the word crazy faith, it's DJ and Cherie. So I'm going to bring them on. DJ and Cherie, girl. How's it going? It's so good to see you guys. Derek is like, yes, I was waiting on this one. Still thinking about that poor clerk lady. Oh, no. What was her name? Was it Esther, Wanda? I don't remember her name, but we know we definitely had she was on our mind. So guys, tell us what's been happening, and then I have an image I'm gonna bring up. So whenever you guys are ready to bring it up, let me know and I'll pull it up. But tell what's been happening since the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us, girl. I just want to say this has been an amazing journey, just watching your growth and watching the show and the impact that you've had.
You are a natural.
Yes, a natural leader. But it was awesome. I was blessed just listening to the past few guests. I'm like, this is the importance of, you know, sharing your story, you know, the idea of forgiveness. I'm working with that right now in my life, and, you know, just hearing all of that. It shows the importance of community. It shows the importance of sharing. So thank you. But some updates.
Yeah, so we're still in the trenches, really. To tell you the truth, a lot has happened from a build perspective, and we finally broke ground. A lot like fully cleared, and you know they're doing the basement dig and all that. You can show that.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so let me pull it up here so you guys can actually see exactly what we're talking about. One window. There we go. It should pop up right about. Nope. Wait. Let me add it to the stream. There we go. But I lost DJ and Cherie. Wait. Why can't I see? There it is. Yay! All right, walk us through this picture.
Yeah. So the first one on the top left was really when they just started the process, and down on the bottom left now, it's fully cleared. It's open. The house is staked out, and this week actually the basement dig out is starting, and then concrete and all that. So it's getting real. It's getting real quick. But the crazy thing about actually this picture, which is another, I guess, mark on on what God is doing, is we were told by a lot of people in the industry, the builders and Chatham County, that we were good to clear because you didn't need a building permit to clear the lot. And right when we got to the end of clearing, we called the county again, and another individual told us, well, you can't clear, so I hope you didn't clear, and we're here looking at a lot that's fully cleared.
Like literally, that bottom left picture, clear. The lot looked like that.
It was already done.
No,
Yeah. Well,
you can't touch the land until you have all your permits.
So it looked like a land disturbance permit or something like that. Yeah. So it was something that was implemented the year before. So we just came out with it like, hey, and they said it would be like a $5,000 fine. So we came out and said,
Mind you, our budget was already tight, so $5,000 fine is not going to work.
5 cents.
We remember.
But we, So we called them and just let them know where we were. Like, hey, we didn't know, and this is what we were told. And they were like, yeah, it's something new. We appreciate your honesty. We won't fine you. Here's the permit type of thing. And
wow.
So we got the permit and we got it moving. And what we realized is doing it that way actually expedited our process because we caused an issue, so to speak, or without knowing, they had their eyes on us, which allowed our permit process to go twice as fast as anyone else's. So we're actually going to be moving along this process much faster than we thought, because this building industry is crazy at the moment. So we were expecting a month, maybe 2 months, and we're getting our permits within 2 weeks. And so it actually expedited our process. We didn't see that happen. We see that as another, God move, so to speak.
Yes.
So far, that's where we are in this process. I think one of the biggest things we're getting out of all of this, like, the biggest thing we're getting out of all this is we absolutely love the build process. Like, we found something that together we are really, good at and loving, and it's making us think. And throughout this process, we started to pray, the planted being the ministry that we're trying to get to. There were certain skills that we needed, and there's certain things that need to be done before that could even be something in regards to, development, facility management, getting certain things up and understanding what that is and having the proper team. And throughout this process, the person that's doing our residential grading, by chance, that person also does commercial grading on large lots for big developments, like when you do different things. And we're connecting with all these people. And so we prayed about it, like, hey, if an opportunity avails itself for us to get into development and start doing something so that we're learning, we'll jump on it. And sure enough, we got an opportunity. So right now we're going through that. We just finished putting together all the numbers, projections, and all kinds of craziness. And so we'll see what God does with that. And it's for us, it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, what's happening? But it's happening. So we're just praying and waiting on God for all of that. And it may be a career change for all of us, and to be focused on something that really, our biggest picture in regards to, or one of the biggest things around that is, when we're walking towards what God has for us, sometimes we don't have, the exact answer in that exact moment, but we realize that when God puts a mission, in the family or between us, that as long as we're taking steps towards where he wants us to be, he seems to course correct amazingly and put us in the right place. So it's been good, and that's pretty much where we are. Did I miss anything so far?
I think that's it.
Yeah, and we're hoping to still be finished with the house by the end of the year, and maybe even be developing and doing other things. So we'll see.
That is crazy. It is insane to me. Are you guys hearing me double?
No,
or is that just me? Perfect. I'll just ignore that in my ear. It's amazing to me how God has used these seemingly huge insurmountable obstacles to literally make a path and a way for where you're supposed to be. Yeah. It's insane. Like, you would never have thought that maybe in this process you would be looking at developing, right? And maybe that's a path that's going to get you closer, right, to this dream that God has placed in your heart. And it's just amazing to watch how you've allowed your faith in God to order your steps. Literally, like, God has just been like, take this next step, and you've taken that step. And so to see you doing that, to see people who are living that out, is just such an inspiration. Derek says it beautifully. DJ, your faith is an inspiration to another husband and father. Thanks for sharing. I am just so excited about your guys' journey because it's not over. And I'm just so happy that you guys were willing to come on and share that update with us. I can't wait to see the house. I can't wait to see your guys' next step. And I mean, I'm excited to see the breaking of ground for Planted and that vision and it come to life, because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that it will. It's just about when and what God needs to teach you in the midst of it. So I'm just so happy to have you guys on. Guys, let's show some love to DJ and Cherie. And go.
One more thing.
Yes.
Thank you for pulling us out of our box to actually share. I mean, you and Adrian been doing that for a minute now, but we appreciate it. We appreciate it because it's kind of holding us to a lot as well, and it's helping us stay accountable and helping us say, you know what, let's make sure we're doing what God needs of us in this moment. Especially, I mean, it's out there now, so it's really God's story and it's for him to finish, but we appreciate you doing that because it's allowing us to say thank God as well, and to really see him work on another stage. So
listen, that's the power of community. That's what we're here for. We're here to help one another on this journey, and we just weren't meant to do it alone. And so thank you for being willing and for having the courage to sit down and be vulnerable with us and open your hearts to us. And literally, I mean, guys, I almost forgot this. I can't believe I forgot this. You guys inspired a wave of mass resignations. Did you know that? Guys, what's your story? Family, do you guys not remember that? We had I think after your show, I quit my job. We had someone else quit their job. There's someone else who's considering quitting their job. Like, one person went down to part-time. I mean, like, like we
cannot take credit for that. Nope. That is a bad move.
please, only God.
Only.
Like Sophie was like, DJ and Cherie did it, so I'm gonna do it too. I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. Listen, it was a thing, and it was so funny because it was just a random hashtag that came out of your story and inspiration from your story, and then like all these people now moved. Yes, Adrian, I quit. Yes, it was so crazy and so beautiful to watch because it just shows the power of how you knowing, owning, and sharing your story inspires someone else to do the same. And so I so appreciate you guys. I'm going to send you backstage and I'll bring you back up in a little bit. Okay. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Crystal and Avery. I feel like they need their own like theme music because they're just so amazing. But they were on episode 2. I see you laughing, Crystal. I see you on they were on episode 2 and they shared their courageous story of losing their baby girl at 32 weeks pregnant and the difficult journey towards healing. They were open, they were vulnerable, and I'm just so grateful to them. But I'm gonna bring them on. The Andersons. Yes, see, Kathleen is laughing because we need a theme song.
Oh boy.
You just give me that vibe, like the Andersons or something.
I don't know about all that.
I'm sure Adrian can write you a jingle or something.
Adrian got us. He got us covered.
But guys, you guys were the episode number 2. So literally at the start of this journey, and I'm just so grateful for you guys being so open with us, and it really just inspired people and their faith. I remember that week, Crystal, getting several messages. The comments. Anyway, I remember getting several messages of people who saw that you guys were going to share and opened up and shared their own journey. And it was just God. Like I just knew that it was like you guys were supposed to share on that weekend. So tell us what's happened. Where are you guys at? Share some updates with us.
Yeah, I mean, well, after we shared, at least one other person had reached out to me personally and shared her experience of child loss. I think she lost 2 children. Actually, no, and then someone else, I forgot about another person, a longtime friend had reached out to me and told me that she had also experienced losing a child. So it's just like a lot of different conversations around that. And I know that speaking to someone who has experienced it was what helped me get through. So if anyone wants to talk about it, I'm open here to, just if you just need a listening ear. But I think that sharing this story really made us reflect on like what God has done for us and what he's brought us through, which prepared us for this next chapter of our lives. As I mentioned when we were talking, we're entering into our 10 years of marriage.
Hey, let's throw some emojis and champagne bottles in the chat. But veggie, we're doing veggie champagne, okay?
Yeah, veggie champagne. Having bottles. But my husband was recently relocated to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And as you guys know, with DJ and Cherie's story, the housing market is absolutely insane, right? Like it's so crazy. So we're finally at the place where we're like, okay, we're gonna buy a house, and we started going into that process, and it was just one no after the other.
Yeah,
we put in 7 different offers, but on our 7th offer, it got accepted, and it was, first of all,
perfect number.
The house wasn't supposed to be on the market.
Talk about that.
The house wasn't supposed to be on the market. We had been put on the waiting list for Adrian.
Can somebody take Adrian's keyboard, please? Just take it from me, okay?
Popping kosher bottles, okay? Apple cider bottles. We pop. All right, let's not get it twisted.
So we had been looking at floor plans, and we had seen a floor plan that we had liked, and we were on the waiting list for this house. And then,
well, don't forget to mention it was supposed to be listed 2 weeks from the day that house came on the market.
Yeah, so pretty much they were building a development, and like usually when you buy a built home, you tell them what you want, and that's pretty much it. That's not how they do it anymore. Now you have to bid for it. They build it, they lay down the foundation, and then they call all the people on the list and be like, all right, what's your offer? You build the foundation. So you pretty much have to bid against everyone else, which is not how it's typically done. But I guess in this market, So
that's a good
pretty much we were on the list for another house. And then I'm, randomly looking at my phone, and I see that the model home, which is the only 5-bedroom home left in the neighborhood, was on the market. And they told us it wasn't going to be available for another 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I called my real estate agent, and I'm like, okay, we're going to put in an offer because we both work from home and we have 3 kids. So we need the 5 bedrooms would have been, the 5 bedrooms would be ideal. And we prayed. It was our 7th offer, and we left it in God's hands, and then we got it. And I think it wasn't a coincidence because I had listened to DJ and Cherie's story, and I was like, man, God, if you could do it for them, like you got us. Yeah.
And I started because I pastored 2 churches, and I'm helping another pastor in North Carolina as well. Wow. And I started a series on Tuesday nights about prayer and the power of prayer and the prevailing promises of prayer. So it was like, you know, I'm talking to them about prayer, and it's like, well, we need God to answer our prayer right now. So it was kind of like God was leading us through this whole thing up until that point. And pretty much I was like, listen, God, you know, I'm telling these people about prayer and how you can answer it. And, you know, I'm going to tell them our situation. So you got to come through. Wow. And sure enough, you know, the Tuesday before, I was like, listen, guys, you know, we're really trying to relocate so we can start doing ministry there. You know, it's cool being in Georgia, being safe, but, you know, we would like to be in the community. So I disclosed to them, listen, you know, we have these offers on the table, and you know, we're putting this on you. You know, we're putting this on you to come through and answer and get this house accepted. And, you know, we prayed over the weekend. Our church family prayed. My family prayed. Her family prayed. We had friends praying. I even put it out on Instagram, which is something I don't usually do. And I just put it out there. I was like, listen, we need all the prayers that we can get. And it was Monday. We're supposed to get the results on Monday at noon. And you can tell that part.
Well, before that, I had recently, let me tell you how community is really important to God, right? Because you know, in our own experience, God had recently reconnected me with some friends from college, and we were really close. And for some reason, we drifted apart. Had, you know, didn't talk for a while. And Avery had randomly found a recording of us singing. So I started a group chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, look at this recording. This is us. Isn't this crazy? Whatever. We started talking, and then one of our friends was like, hey, I'm about to start a 21-day fast. Do you guys want to do it with me? Everyone agreed. Leilani, the fast ended on the day that we put on our offer. Woo! Like, think about that. The fast ended the day that we put in the 7th offer. Mercy. And then Monday, it was 12. We still didn't get anything. And I'm just like, we put in 3 offers. Offer 7, 8, and 9. Offer 7, 8, and 9. 7th was the house that we got. And 8 and 9 were gone. Like,
they were gone before.
Yeah. And I was like, Sunday. I was like, anxiety, frustration. Like, we're not going to have a house. We're just going to look for apartments, whatever. And I was talking to one of my friends, and she's like, yo, you only need one. You only need one. And I was like, okay. And then my real estate agent FaceTimed me, and he was like, you got it. And I was like, what? He was like, you got it. You know,
Number 7.
Number 7.
Listen, tell me y'all did like a praise break.
Actually, I have a video of my kids, because this was the house they wanted, because it has a community pool. Yeah. So I was like, if you guys want this house, y'all need to talk to Jesus
and make it happen. Listen, that's so powerful though, because, you know, even though like they're looking at it from the perspective of having a pool, right? They're getting to see your faith in action. And that is just so inspiring, and it's something that's going to be lasting.
Yeah.
And even with them, we've instituted a daily time of prayer where whatever we do, and we stop and we come and pray, and we'll have them take turns and pray and ask God for things. So they've been able to see, I mean, we've been doing it for probably almost 2 months now, consistently. So they're getting an understanding of what prayer is just through this experience. So, you know, different things that they ask for, different things that they want God to do, you know, they're being bold and asking God for it in these seasons of prayer. So, you know, listen, I am a strong proponent of prayer. You know, if there's anyone out there, and Chris will tell you, like, I don't worry much anymore. I really don't, you know, and this experience has kind of solidified God's realness and his intentionality. You gotta let him know what you want. Yes. You can't sit there and think that he's just going to give it to you just because you love him. No, you got to talk to him. And, you know, the Bible's very clear. It says, ask, seek, and knock. If you're knocking at the door, you got to wait for him to answer it. So no matter how long you got to wait knocking there, no matter if your knuckles get bloody, no matter if people are looking at you funny, Jesus is going to answer that door. Yeah. When he's going to answer it, that's up to him. But you be faithful and trust that he's going to answer that door when he knocks. So
yes.
And I will say that definitely watching other people's stories on your platform, Leilani, has been so inspiring. Because I think this is what church is supposed to be, right? Like the whole purpose of church is to share your testimony so that you can be like, you know what, God, you did that for her. Like DJ Cherie, you did that for DJ Cherie in North Carolina.
Exactly.
Like, help us out, please, Lord.
Right. They told him, DJ told them that we only doing $50,000 and y'all better take it or leave it. And God was like, good. Give them $50,000. Give them the house.
Like, we your children too, Lord.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're not even trying to build. We just trying to buy something already built. So it's not going to be that hard, Jesus. Just come through. So
just come through. And he came through on the 7th offer. Listen, you guys have been so inspiring to watch. I've had the privilege of watching your journey and being a little fly on the outside wall of your life. And I'm just, it's amazing to see how God has developed you, grown you, and positioned you to inspire so many other people. And so I'm just excited for this next chapter of your lives. I've told you, Crystal, I'm like, this is a new season.
It's a new
season, a new chapter, literally the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. And I just can't wait to see what God does in you guys, in your children, in the churches, and the people that you're going to be connecting with. And I'm just...
And the neighborhood.
And the neighborhood. Because you got that model house, so you're the first one in the block. Right? So everybody's has to pass by your house. I love what Rob says. He said he answered your prayers with a no while he was setting up your yes. Listen, a lot of times we focus so much on the no, but as being a negative. But the reality is that if we're trusting God and we're walking in faith, then he will never lead us astray, right? He will never set us up to fail. And so you guys are a living testimony of that. So thank you so much. I'm going to send you backstage and bring everybody back on in a second. Thank you guys for sharing. Gladys says rejection is protection. God had a plan. All right, girl, I see you with the one-liners. We have 2 quick updates from people who were not able to be present, but I thought it was important to share because their stories were so powerful. So last week, we actually had Elizabeth share her story of how she was a survivor of human trafficking. She was human trafficked for over 12 years, then sold into drug trafficking. And after having her baby boy, she was sent to federal prison for 5 years. And in that process, not only did she find God, but she became sober from her addiction and was released, got her GED, and she is now, I want to share this with you. She sent me this update. This is her. If you see her picture, she is standing on stage. She just graduated with her bachelor's degree, and she is going to be making the way for women all who are in California who are experiencing the same thing. She is providing a safe house for them. And the picture with her and her friend and her partner amongst these bags and these boxes, guys, I just want to tell you what she is doing. So she, as a result of God redeeming her and saving her, she is launching what's called Redemption House. It is a safe house for women. It's a multifaceted program, and the purpose is to assist survivors of human trafficking to get back to a functional, productive, and healthy lifestyle. And here's what they're doing. They're actually once a month in Sonoma County in California. They're meeting with survivors on the streets, in motels, where they are being trafficked, to build kind of relationships and make them aware of the resources. They give them self-care kits. They show them love and compassion and invite them to participate in a bi-weekly support group. And they are survivor-led. So she and her friend are survivors of human trafficking and are doing the same and paying it back. And so this past weekend, Elizabeth graduated. You see her picture there. And I'm just so excited for her journey. We're going to continue to keep up with her and to see how God is going to continue to move. So show some love for her. And the last update is of Noemi and Charles. You guys, those of you who saw their story, you know that God led them through a journey of friendship, called them to leave their friendship to then be reconnected in relationship. And if you remember, I don't know if you remember, but we kind of got on him a little bit because it took him 4 years or so to say I love you, and all the ladies in the chat were like, oh my goodness, she is so patient. But I just want to show, before I show that, we just have some support for Elizabeth. That's awesome. From being human trafficked to master's degree in her own business. Yes, praise God. Congrats, Elizabeth. But Noemi and Charles, I'm going to share the screen and show what's been happening in their life. If you don't remember, she was 9 months pregnant when they came on to share their story. And here is what's happened since. They had their beautiful baby boy. They were actually waiting to give birth in order to find out the sex of the baby. And so it was a beautiful baby boy. And she sent this. Nakoa Terrazas Kamak was born at 2:55 a.m. on May 18th. He weighed 8 pounds, 4 ounces and is 20.5 inches. He enjoys going on walks with dad in the mornings and really dislikes being naked and cold. He's brought us so much joy, and we can't wait to see how God uses him to fulfill the meaning of his name, Brave Warrior. We're so excited for Noemi and Charles and for the safe delivery that they experienced, and for just being part of the What's Your Story community, because once you come on this show, you're part of the family. But I'm gonna quickly bring on all of our guests, and we're just gonna chat real quick, and then we'll do our giveaway. So guys, let me take off. Oh, perfect. It works. So guys, here I have a question for you guys, and in the comments, if you have any questions, now is the time to almost makes me want to have a fourth. Adrian, you're crazy. We're gonna ignore that. I clicked that by accident. That's my hubby. He's playing games. Okay. So guys, you all have courageously shared your stories. What would you say to someone that's afraid to share their story or feels like their story isn't good enough to share? Anyone can answer.
The word of God says that we have the power of life or death on our lips. And there's certainly power of life on your lips, and your story matters. A lot of times I thought that my own story was possibly even a curse for everything that I've been through, but I recognize now that actually my story, I'd call it a gift. And so that we all have that beautiful gift of our story to be able to encourage others. So just say it.
Yes. Just do it.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No worries.
I also think that, when you talk about the value of your testimony, you can't gauge how far or how intense or what it would be for someone else hearing what you have to share. So let God use your testimony. Let him use it. Let him put the power behind it, because he's the only one that has the power and the strength and the will for his will to be done in someone else's life because of your willingness to share. So don't be afraid, and don't think that it's invaluable. It's going to be valuable to somebody. It may not be valuable to your circle, but it may be valuable to someone outside of that. So just share.
I love that.
Yeah, I think in a world where we have at times felt so alone and disconnected, I think our authentic truth has the power to bring us together. So I think it's been a theme that we've been sharing, that we can find connectedness and community in opening up and being vulnerable and sharing what is truth to us can be truth to somebody else. So it is scary, though, I think. And I think I think courage is having the fear but doing it anyways. I think is the definition I heard of courage. So I think it's okay to be scared, but doing it anyways, because it'll help someone else be able to connect to their truth.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you think about it, there's a verse in Revelations. I was actually just asking Cherie about that. It's they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. There were two things in that. That's the equation, really, on really telling the world who Jesus is. Your testimony. Yes. That can be a lot more powerful than the greatest sermon. So it's like, whatever it is, just share it. Somebody needs to hear it, and God gave you that testimony for a reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rob says only the devil wants to silence your testimony. God made you declare his praise through your story. Man, isn't that the truth? At the end of the day, what the enemy wants, the enemy's darkness, right? And so if he can lie to you and tell you that your story is better left untold, then he's won, right? And there are people who are left wanting. And like Derek said earlier, Crystal, you said that, on your episode, there's someone assigned to your voice. So powerful, because we never think, you only think, oh, if I'm a pastor or, if I'm in that profession that, you get to touch people that way. But no, like we all have been assigned someone, and I couldn't have put it better. DJ and Cherie proved that there's power in their story. It caused the labor shortage in the United States.
Oh, Lord.
Yo, did you take away his keyboard yet?
I'm in another room. I can't take it.
And I think in a world where where perfection is glorified, right? Instagram, everyone got to be picture perfect. I think that telling a story of the ugly kind of highlights the good even more, and even more so God. When you see that, yeah, we all are messed up and go through some really messed up things, but God,
Yes, it's like Kathleen said, this is how we overcome. Yeah. Right? It is how we overcome. DJ just said that beautifully. Man, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Any last words before we transition out?
Share your story.
Go ahead, DJ, and then Cherie.
I'm looking forward to season 2.
Hey, yes. Avery, you were going to say something?
No, I'm saying share your story. Share it. All of us have a platform. You have a phone, you have internet, you have a platform. Share your story, share what God has done for you. I mean, we talk about pastors and especially being one, my job can only do so much, but the power of testimonies and sharing it gets the work done. Like that's really what it is. It gets the gospel message out there, and people are able to see God in a tangible way, more than being at the, attention of a pastor. But if your friends, you share with your friends, you share with your family, that speaks volumes,
Absolutely.
And it just shows God in such a real way. So share, please share it.
I love how there's just been an overarching thread of community, and how when we share our stories, we invite others into a space that they would have been journeying alone. We would have been journeying alone. And each one of you has so courageously been that example. And I'm just excited to see what God does in your own lives as we continue on and jump into season 2. But if there's nothing else, guys, I am just so grateful for you. I'm going to send you backstage and do our giveaway. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Leilani.
Thank you, guys.
Job. Can I just say that you not only did it, you did it well.
Oh,
like you didn't just throw something together. You did research. You got the equipment. You got everything that you need. You executed it amazingly. Thank you for being obedient. Yeah.
I'm trying to be like you guys. You know what I'm saying? Follow Jesus. Gladys, what are you gonna say?
I was going to say thank you for holding space for each of us and our truths and our voices and our, because each person kind of has their energy. Each couple had their energy and their vibe. And I think you did such a wonderful job of honoring that and really connecting with each of us in the way that we needed to connect so that you could bring forth what we needed to come forth. So I think that dance of like you and our truth combining together was beautifully done. So thank you.
Thank you. I love you guys. All right. On that note, so beautifully spoken, I'm going to remove you guys and send you backstage so we can do our giveaways. Bye, guys. All right. DJ and Cherie, I still have you on. I'm going to take you off now. All right. All right. So breaking news. I see Derek. Is there breaking news? Hold on a second. Derek Williams, I'm calling you. I'm calling you out. What's your breaking news? Share with us. All right, guys. I am in awe of what God has done, not just through each one of their stories, but through the lives in the chat. I've had conversations with so many of you. I see people here, Chantel, Derek, Chantal, I've just, so many of you, Rose, Zakia, that God has literally, Christina has literally been working in your lives. He's been moving in so many ways. And I maybe would have never had the opportunity to do that if it wasn't for this platform. But Adrian says, it's weird not to have a reunion episode without the guests throwing drinks at each other. That's true. Listen, let's not go there. But this is your last opportunity to be in the giveaway. So #finale right now if you have not done so, because we are about to announce our giveaway winners. And it's you guys have journeyed along with us. You are part of this community forever and ever and ever. Speaking it into existence. Girl, we're going to have to, because Christina is one of my close friends and she knows. Woo! This is good TV, not reality TV. Hey, Clary. Yes, that's true. But again, thank you guys so much for your support. We're going to pull up the giveaway because it is that time. All right. Let me see here. Share my screen. Get my giveaway tab going. And I wish I had some drum roll. Avery plays the drums. I should have had him play the drum roll in the back. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open this up and let's see what it looks like as I kind of play around with this. All right. Let's do this. We're going to go and draw. Let's see who our giveaway winner is. So slowing down. I see you. Derek! Derek, you are winner number 1. We are so excited to give you the first bundle of Starbucks. I know you love your Starbucks, and you can take Paris out and your little girl to that Starbucks date. #breaking news, Derek Willems. Yes, congrats. Show him love. Derek, I will be in contact with you to get you that information. All right, here we go. We're going to draw again. You guys ready? Last draw. Last one. Let's see who comes up. Derek, if you can't win again, so DJ, you won. DJ's in the back lifting up his hands. Yes, you get the other bundle. Look at God. Blessings on blessings on blessings. I'm going to remove this off the screen. DJ and Cherie, I'll be in contact with you guys to give you the information. You get this amazing What's Your Story shirt. And Rose, we will have merch coming very soon, so I will let you guys know that. But guys, as always, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your support. I'm looking forward to what God is going to continue to do. And as we close out, I just want you to know that you can support. This is not the last time to support. You can support by subscribing to the YouTube channel at Leilani Langdon. What's Your Story? I'll try to keep updates going on off season. You also want to make sure you are subscribed to my channel, Leilani Langdon on Facebook and _Leilani Langdon _ on Instagram, because I will keep you guys updated to what's happening during the off season. And you can always choose to donate. You can Cash App What's Your Story Live to help continue to build this platform. I'm just so grateful for everything that you guys have done. What a fantastic program, season, and host. Rob, I appreciate you so much. And I just want to let you know, next season, God willing, is going to be happening. It's going to be launching August 1. August 1 is our next season, but please stay connected, subscribed, and following social media platforms so you can stay tuned, so we can start our community back up. And guys, as always, I just want to remind you that your purpose is found in your story. So the question for you is, we're leaving, but that doesn't mean that you should not be inspired to know, own, and share your story. So the question is, are you ready to share your story? That's a wrap. We'll see you next season.